This is Fox 31 News.
Welcome back, everybody. It is 8:44. As winter approaches, many people are left with a lot of vegetables from their gardens. What do you do with them, right? Because they'll go bad eventually. Well, it's easy. It's simple. You can can or pickle them to preserve them for winter. Sort of a lost art in many worlds, but it's a lot easier than you think, and it can save you a lot of money for the winter months. I mean, it's how people used to do this back in the day to preserve their fruits and veggies.
We're going to make it cool again.
We are?
We're bringing it back. Joining us this morning, we've got some tips on canning and pickling. We have Chef Natalie from Johnson & Wales University.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. We haven't seen you in a while. You had a baby.
Had a baby. Good to be back.
How's the baby doing?
He's great.
Good.
Just the best baby. He was the cutest little Tigger last night. Oh, man. I should have sent you a photo because everybody needs to see it. It was
I
the
know,
best
right?
ever.
I'd love to see that photo. Well, and you don't see as many people canning and pickling as much as you did maybe
Right.
20, 30 years ago, or of course even more.
Yeah, it is a lost art. Something our grandparents used to
Yeah.
do. You know, winter would come and it was like, let's preserve everything. Now, commercially, you can get vegetables all
Sure.
seasons in your grocery store. But if you've grown a lot in your garden this year,
Save 'em.
Save them. Don't let them go to waste. A lot of people bring them into the office, share them
Yeah.
with friends, and then you're like, I have all these tomatoes. What do
Right.
I do? My favorite thing to do with leftover tomatoes is to make a marinara sauce, and then I just have a sauce all winter long.
That's what this is, right?
So we're going back
yeah.
old school here.
So pretty old school. So the recipe's online for that, but I just wanted to kind of share some of the basics of canning
Okay.
and the tips for keeping safety when
Sanitize,
canning.
right?
Sanitize is the key point here because you're going to put these jars in your pantry. You're not putting them in the refrigerator. You're not putting them in
Right.
the freezer. You don't want to leave them sitting out where they can spoil. So safety and sanitation is going to be your priority. So make sure you have the proper equipment before you get started. So I have a canning pot here, and inside the canning pot is a rack that you can put
Wow.
your jars on. So that way it makes it a little easier for the process here.
Because you have to boil them, right?
Yeah, so you'll want to boil your jars for at least 10 to 15 minutes before you ever put anything into them. That will kind of kill any bacteria that may be collected on them in the grocery store. Even if they're fresh out of the package, do not skip this step.
Okay.
Something else that I think is handy for a tool is a little can lifter like
Oh, yeah.
this.
I've seen
Cans
those.
are hot when they come out. Tongs will work, but this is a little bit better so you can dump that water out without hurting yourself. And then take them out. Another tip is to fill the jars while they're hot with your hot liquids. So don't change the temperature too quickly.
You can crack the jar.
You can crack the jar.
Okay.
Even though it's a really strong glass, Ball does a great job making great jars for this, it can still do that. So you want to be really careful.
Okay.
Next tip is to pack your jars properly. So for example, when we make pickles at home, this is my husband's favorite summertime activity. In fact, we were pickling when I was like 2 weeks postpartum. It was crazy. But you want to get your cucumbers into your jars and you want to pack it in, you know, pretty tightly. You want to get as little air space in there as possible.
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier, right, exactly. And then you want to add all your other goodies too. So this recipe is also online. We do garlic, peppercorn, and mustard seed. I like to put a little grape leaf in the bottom of there. The grape leaf helps to keep it nice and crispy.
Now, look how tight these are packed in
Of
here.
course, your fresh dill in there as well. And then your hot liquid would just go over the top.
Got it.
So if you have wide mouth jars, it's a little bit easier to get that liquid in. But if you don't, you can buy a canning funnel
Oh, yeah.
as well.
And how long do these stay in the pantry?
1 year.
1 year?
Yeah. So
Wow.
once they're preserved, they'll stay
See, I
for
would have
1
said forever.
year.
but
Yeah.
That's why I'd be killing people.
Yeah. So food safety, right? Botulism grows in
1
cans
year.
really
Well, that's
easily.
very serious stuff.
So
very
date it on
serious.
the top. We got to run here, but that's
Yep.
another pro
Date
tip
it.
here is put that date on the
Make
top.
sure they're sealed. If they're not sealed, reprocess them, or put them in your refrigerator and use it as soon as possible.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks for
nice to
having
see
me,
you
guys.
again. It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been great. Thanks for having me.
She's like, it's been great. Now I'm back to work.
All
Now
right,
it's
let's
safe.
get over to Greg.
She sounds so tired, dude. She's like, yeah, it's been wonderful. It's a real treat.
Now leave